What's up, motherfuckers? I give you some fake enthusiasm there, like how sometimes they do on podcasts where they have to, or like on YouTube where they have to give you the same energy and the same bullshit every week. Like, hey, we're back again, motherfuckers. Let's go, or whatever their intro is. No, we don't do that shit on this podcast. So fuck off. Um,
Cue the soundbite, Jimbo.
pew pew pew. We're gonna do that someday. We're working on something. We've talked about this. We are gonna surprise the fuck out of you guys one of these days. You're not gonna know what the fuck you're listening to when you tune in. But until we have the time to fully invest in that, you're gonna get the same bullshit. Let's start off on a positive note with some of my brother's charitable endeavors. We discussed it on a few episodes ago about what he does, what he's a part of in getting, um, some gifts for kids who need a little bit of help. So why don't you talk a little bit about that, Rob, and let everybody know how that went?
Yes, yesterday we wrapped up our Christmas miracle holiday thing, and it's always it's an awesome project. It's very labor intensive. Uh, it's tedious, but it's super rewarding, especially when it comes to the kids. Um, so this project started 6 years ago with one family. It was one family and five kids the first year, and in 6 years we've scaled up. This year we ended up serving 890 kids Christmas. Um,
That's pretty sweet.
it's yeah, it's actually really cool. It is so much work though.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that you don't realize how much like you get into it, or you got into it until like you're
Well,
all done.
so it's
Like today,
I mean, to get good donations and stuff, you got to give a lot of hand jobs. So your arms must be sore as fuck.
well, the thing is, like, man, look, the community is awesome, man. We have a great community who, like, when it comes to kids, man, like people want to give and they want to give a shit. So I mean, that's really cool. We have a lot of like really awesome local businesses who support us and like back us and like help us out along the way. Um, you know, I love supporting locals, so I think that's awesome too.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it makes me think of like the Bad News Bears, Chico's bail bonds on the supporting your local little league team. In this case, it's a Christmas thing. So yeah, shout out to Chico's bail bonds out there in the Virginia branch.
Well, well, and the great thing, man, is like, my board members and my volunteers aren't your like, Bible thumping,
Hey,
trying
hey,
to
hey.
shove.
Let's not hate on the Bible thumpers. Come on.
No, but I mean, like, so like these people just they're here for the goodness of their heart, like they want to do the right thing, and it's not based on religion or like trying to push their values or what they believe in. They just want to do like something good.
Good.
Um, but it's cool because you have an organization of people who are like, like our hot chocolates were more than hot.
Well, I will say shout out to anybody involved in volunteers, board members, people who donated, businesses who donated or set up donation stations. Shout out to all of you. It's a fucking great thing, and you know there's so much shit in this world. Just doing something nice it just makes you feel good. So shout out to you too. Um, but enough grab ass. Let's get into some shit here. Um, so I had my thing up on the screen, but I fucked it up. So now that we don't really have to fuck with politics anymore, even though Trump's like uh, talking about maybe attempting some type of coup, like just just going looking for every last fucking little thread to hold on to not admit that it's over. We don't really need to discuss that. That's just stupid. Um, but COVID is still kicking dicks. Um, I think last week or the week before, we had more deaths from COVID than any major United States event ever. Like more than Pearl Harbor, more than um, obviously 9/11, more than something else. I don't know, but like COVID deaths were like in one day was like the biggest killer of anything. And I think that had to do with everybody, saying fuck it on Thanksgiving. I think that was a big part of it. But whatever. We talked about that already. So we have vaccines now. Are you going to get one?
Yeah, I mean, when the time comes, I think I'll get the vaccine. I'm glad that there's going to be a couple of people ahead of me, to make sure that what the side effects are or whatever, because there was a short amount of testing. But I mean, for for someone who's immune compromised like myself, the vaccine is a much better option than getting the virus.
Well, um, I have no fear in getting the vaccine, because even if it causes some long term side effect later on, they'll come up with something to fix that side effect. So fuck it, I'm all in. I was actually thinking today, it's gonna be so fucking awesome when we can just like not think, shit, did I grab my mask? Like when we go to get in the car,
Yeah.
or before we go to go into a store, or whatever. It's just gonna be so awesome just to be normal again. Um, so I'm all in. And I was listening to, I've referenced this podcast before because it's a good podcast, the Kirk Minahan show. Um, and they briefly discussed how the all the politicians are getting vaccinations before, like bus drivers and people who are much more at risk than they are. And how do you feel about that?
Oh, I mean, if there's something wrong with the vaccine, I rather some of those guys get it,
Yeah, I mean,
get the side effects. I mean,
they
that may be the way to drain the swamp.
well they did bring that point up, um, but it also it just seems like he what Kirk said was like how it seems like like the kings and queens, like all the elites get taken care of first. You know what I mean? And then we'll take care of you guys. You know what I mean? So it's kind of fucked up. And on that note, I don't want to get too much into that. I was just curious what your take was. Um,
Well, I mean, but all right. So part of he's like, all right, it's cool. So yeah, the rich dude gets the fucking vaccine before me. You know, on the same token, it's like the people that are getting the vaccine are the ones running the infrastructure.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
but they're also the assholes who tell you can't do this and you can't do that, and then they go and do it.
Yeah.
Like how many stories did we hear about, oh, don't go do this and don't celebrate that, and then come to find out these fucking assholes were doing exactly that. So I don't know.
Well, they also have access to the best healthcare in the fucking world. So
Well, that that leads to my next point, which is our boy Giuliani caught the vid, right? Survived, right? Chris Christie survived. Trump survived. Um, what's his name? Who's that asshole? The Uncle Tom guy, that the Republican black dude that Trump made the housing guy. Fuck, why am I forgetting his name now? God damn it. I can't believe I'm. So in any case,
Just call this dude. You just call this dude Uncle Tom. Wow.
well, that's what everybody calls him. Um, fuck, what's his name? I can't. This is what sucks about getting old. You fucking forget everything. Um, God damn it. Anyways, so these, like, I think Trump put in a call to make sure that, like, at least one, if not some of these guys got those, those antibody cocktails and all of that shit that Trump got, because it's like those things are not as available as some of the other treatment. So um, I guess they save them for like the worst cases, and they try to give them to the people who are about to die and stuff like that. And these
Yeah.
fucking all these assholes got them, all of them, and that's why they all beat COVID. So, not that I wanted them to die or anything, but how is it fair that and this leads to the point of the vaccines? These guys just get pushed to the front of the line. Like, it's what's difference? What's the difference between them and kings and queens or dictators? If this is what they're doing, if vaccines are available and they should be, and these people can do their jobs from a distance, then the vaccine should be going to the frontline workers first, the people who are at most risk, not these assholes, fucking Rubio and AOC and all these other dickheads. Like, sure, the president, yeah, okay, I get it. President, vice president, fine. But all these other Nancy Pelosi, fuck off. None of you deserve it yet.
Well, I mean, the other thing too is, I don't know. Like, I think some of that is also trying to, um, like reduce the fear from people that are afraid of the vaccine.
That's why it was televised for Pence. And
Yeah,
yeah, that's why it was I get that.
for
But
like Biden and Pence and
yeah, fuck them. Fuck off. Give me the vaccine first. Fuck you guys. Uh, um. Shit. What was it? Fuck. I lost my train of thought there. Anyways, I can't wait for the vaccine.
Side note, you talking about J. Smith?
Who?
J. Smith? Is that who you're talking about?
No.
The Trump guy?
No.
No.
No, he's fucking well known. I have a complete asshole blank in my brain right now for this guy. I mean, he's like a well-known Republican. Um he's been described as an Uncle Tom before. I just I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. I must have just drank too many beers in my life. Um
Cory
but
Booker,
no, Cory
Tim
Booker's a
Scott,
Democrat.
uh, Tim Scott.
He's the housing guy. He's the housing guy for Trump. Um, Jesus Christ, why can't I remember? This is gonna irk the shit out of me.
Tim Scott.
No. Fuck. Anyways,
Well, he's the only black. Tim Scott is the only black GOP senator.
well, I didn't say he was a senator. He's in charge of the housing stuff. Um. Anyways, so I just saw tonight. I guess they're trying to get some of Giuliani's shit. I think Giuliani's in the hot seat now. Um, because they're trying to get like some of his communications and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
well, that's going to be something. Oh, I wanted to talk about they finally passed some COVID relief. So I guess they've, well, let's be honest. The unemployment benefits money was about to run out. Just for the piddly small amount that you would get, not the extra, just for the little bit that you would get. The 200 and change, they were about to run out of that. And because COVID is booming, they're shutting down businesses again. And business, dude, the fucking cinema, Showcase Cinemas in Revere, done, donezo, because of COVID. That place has been there like my whole life. And now they're done. Just like that.
Yeah.
So these asshole politicians finally said, oh, well, shit, if we don't do something now, we're fucked. We're shutting all the businesses down again or putting more restrictions on them. People's unemployment, the little that they're getting is about to run out. Like, if you thought the economy was bad before, it's about to turn to complete shit, even with the vaccine, because people's confidence, like, is low. So they finally passed it. So you're gonna get a little chump $600 in your bank account in 3 or 4 weeks or whatever it is. I guess. I mean, supposedly that's what's going to happen. And if you got some kids, they're going to kick in a little bit extra for that. So if you're like, one of those, I don't want to say welfare moms, but if you're one of those people who has, I don't know, 5 kids, you get a nice little piece of change. But if you're average
Well,
Joe and you only have like 1 or 2 kids, you're getting a little chump $600, and 500 a kid or something. So it's not really that much relief,
well,
being honest.
it's 600 for every kid. It's the same. It's not 500.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
six. So fine.
but yeah, I mean it's kind of like it's kind of shit when you think about it. Like $600. What is $600? But the house, the treasurer, Munchkin was like, I guess he's saying that if it gets passed, that they could have payments to Americans like by next week.
Well, I'll believe it when I see it. But again, that's like them just throwing crumbs. If let's be honest, if these guys really gave a fuck, like, why didn't they all take pay cuts and stuff like that, and you know push that money somewhere else? Like, why does it only affect normal folks, poor folks? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Why? I don't know. It's like we talked about before. Just the fucking, we're the peasants, and they throw us crumbs, and we run with our hands out. Oh yeah, I'll take some crumbs. And then
Well,
some of us are so fucking stupid that we take those crumbs and right away we run out and we waste them and we get rid of them.
and my thing is too is like any other business that's you know any other business that's suffering like trims the fat. When the airline industry, after September 11th hit, like they came back in and they had concessions and employees had to give up like money to keep the airlines afloat. The government didn't trim the fat. They didn't cut their salaries. They
Yeah.
didn't like
How about
yeah,
how about all that money we set aside for all these like special interest things, and all the money we set aside to give to like other countries and shit like that? We say fuck off. We need this money right now. We can't give it to you. We'll help you out when we can do it. For now, sorry. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think right now, like if you're, there's nothing wrong with being selfish to some extent, as far as like preserving, America's legacy and trying to keep America afloat. Um, I mean, I do get like international is important. Like, I guess if America didn't support, there would be some destabilization in certain regions or whatever.
Yeah, I'm talking about like super special interest stuff that actually got
Yeah.
through because they stick them to these bills. And even this bill, I think there's some special interest shit involved. And let's be honest, the only reason this passed is because they need more money for the vaccine rollout. They need more money for COVID to get rid of COVID. I mean, that's the number one thing. The unemployment, the businesses are all secondary to them because the sooner they get the vaccines out, the sooner they get rid of COVID, the sooner everything else opens up. So then the businesses can help themselves, blah blah blah. So that was their number one priority. Let's not kid ourselves. But whatever, fuck that shit. Um, one thing that COVID, another thing that COVID fucked is Christmas parties. One of the best things about the holiday season is Christmas parties. Like your work Christmas party, like when I worked at Harvard at the business school, dude, there was like at least 3 or 4 Christmas parties every fucking year. It was fucking sweet. You know, it's like you're at work, but you're not working. You're just chilling, having a few beers and eating food. And it's like, there's no Christmas parties. COVID killed the Christmas party. Fucking sucks. And the best thing about Christmas parties is if it's like, open bar and all of that stuff, there's always an asshole who drinks too much and does something stupid. I'm not gonna name any names, but I was at one year, and this dude, this younger guy, fell into the radiator and smashed the radiator to the point where, and this is a big dude, and it looked like it was like bent. and just kind of bounced off of it and just like played it off and act like it was like he almost like he intended to do it. Like he hit a tackling dummy and he was just like, what happened? Like, it's all good. And I can tell you another personal story where I was the asshole. And this happened a long time ago where I was fucking with I took a bus because I was being responsible. So I took the bus. We always had it in Boston, at a place called Jillian's. It's right near Fenway Park, and they have like bowling. They have all this shit. But we had always had like a pool tournament, and we had our own little space. Of course, open bar. So I was crushing like Grey Goose and Red Bulls all night. Instead of just being smart and just drinking like a light beer or something, I was crushing like fucking, I don't know, I can't even tell you how many, you know, uh, vodka and Red Bulls I had. But I left. The party ended. I left. And I was supposed to go down the street and jump on the train and take the train to Haymarket so that I could catch the bus. Um, well, I made it to the train station, but I missed the last train. And I was so fucked up. I was like arguing with the guy that worked there because I'm like, I'm standing down at the platform waiting for the train, and there's no train coming. And I'm like, why don't you guys like announce it or something or whatever? And the guy's telling me, oh, it's posted or whatever. And it was posted, but it was like some bootleg sign. And I'm like, look at that fucking sign. Like, what the fuck is that? This is how you guys do stuff? Like, why didn't you just put a Post-it note up or something? So, so I'm breaking his balls when it's not even his fault. And some other people are watching me arguing with him. And you know, the fucking do-gooders are like, they want to start calling the cops and shit on me. And I look at him and I'm like, just mind your fucking business. Nobody's talking to you. Shut the fuck up. And because I'm wasted, dude. I'm wasted. And so I start telling dude, I'm like, I'm trying to get this dude to just admit that it's bootleg and it's ridiculous, like, so that I can leave him alone. I'm like, all right. It's not your fault. It's all good. Just admit it's bullshit. Like, and the dude just wants to finish his job and go home. He does not want to be fucked with this drunk idiot. So so I say, now, mind you, I don't know if you remember, if you remember where Fenway Park is and the Kenmore
Yeah.
Tea Stop, how far it is from Haymarket. It's quite a ways away from Haymarket, okay? In my brain, it's a few blocks. It's miles away. It's miles away. But in my brain, because I'm so fucked up, it's a few blocks down the street. Okay? So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to walk. So I start walking. Okay? I start walking to go catch my bus because I want to catch the last bus, you know? I don't want to miss the last bus. Well, I was walking in the completely opposite direction. I was walking towards BU on Com Ave instead of going the opposite direction to go towards Haymarket. When I look up and I realize I'm at BU, I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck am I doing? So now I'm like a half a mile in the other direction, and I gotta walk way the fuck over there. I was like, fuck this, I'm tapping out. I called the cab. Cab took me home, and thankfully I made it home. But that was this idiot that got so fucked up that he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. That's what happens at Christmas parties. That's why Christmas parties are great.
It's funny too because was that a Christmas? I think it was a Christmas party. Uh, some years ago, I worked for an adoption, like an adoption, I guess, service or whatever. It was a nonprofit, and I remember going to this Christmas party and getting super fucking drunk, and then taking the bus home and taking the tea home. But like, I guess at some point I lost my keys, and I remember like calling. I think it was like called my mom. It was like, yeah, I need the keys. I'm locked out of the house, and my big ass had tried to climb up on the balcony to get in the house, and I felt the fucking trash cans. So I don't remember much of it, but she says when she got there, like I was stopping every car that was coming down Beacon Street. Like, you got my car keys? You got my car keys?
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure everybody everybody probably has a Christmas story. If not a Christmas party story, some other work type thing where everybody's cutting loose and you cut loose just a little too much. But yeah, so fuck COVID. Thank God for the vaccine. And the sooner we can get rid of this fucking thing, the better. So let's get on to some lighter shit. I saw some dude wearing a shirt, and he buttoned his shirt all the way to the top. Now I know that became a trend for a little while, where it was the style. I don't think it's ever appropriate to button your shirt all the way to the top unless you're wearing a tie. But that's just me. I think you look like a dork, not a nerd, a dork, You look like a fucking dork when you button every button all the way to the top. You probably don't wear a lot of button downs, but what are your thoughts on that?
So you broke up. I lost you there for a second. You want to come back at me?
The button downs. What when like I think it's for dorks when you button it all the way to the top. So I know you don't wear a lot of button shirts, but
I wear a button shirt every day.
well,
No,
I'm not talking about for work.
no. I mean, yeah. If you're dressing casual, it's definitely you leave the top button like down.
So is that just a fashion thing, or is that like a security thing? Like you feel insecure if you have your button open or something.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're afraid that someone's gonna see the cheese or
The little cabbage coming out, the little spinach showing
yeah,
off.
spinach.
Because some of them got some hairy ass fucking. I guess. I mean, I don't know. It to me, it's just a weird move. I like if you're wearing a tie, obviously, yeah, you close the top button. You got a tie on. But if you don't have to wear a tie, why would you button it all the way up to the top? I just don't get it. It just doesn't seem. I don't know. It's just a weird move to me. Almost like serial killer ish, but whatever. So
Well, on the same token, though, like
yeah,
if if that wasn't a thing, would like they put that button there? Like if it wasn't like if there wasn't people that preferred that style, like shirts wouldn't have that top button.
I think they
They'd always be
probably,
relaxed.
if we're being honest, they probably did it to like keep you warm. So like if it's cold, you button up all the way to the top, right? If you have a coat on, you button all the buttons to the top.
Honestly, I think the button thing on button down shirts is for like to be able to button down to get your big bulbous ass head through the fucking shirt hole.
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, your neck is smaller than your head, but
Yeah.
which, by the way, great Seinfeld episode when when the guy went through Alcoholics Anonymous and he had to apologize to people, and George was pissed off because he didn't apologize to him for saying that he didn't want to let him use a sweater because his head was too big and it was going to stretch out the top of the sweater. So all-time classic right there. Moving on. So I saw this Am I the Asshole? I guess this college kid was in one of those pay it forward things at McDonald's, and he broke it. He was like, fuck that, I'm just gonna pay. Like they paid for mine. Okay, great, thanks, see you later. So he caught some shit for it, even by like his own mother. And the problem with that is, like, it's nice. Doesn't it kind of defeat the purpose if you're obligating other people to do it? Like, isn't the whole point to just, all right, I'm going to do something nice for somebody. Now, if you do the pay it forward thing, and you're putting the pressure on them to do something nice for somebody else. So it's almost like a burden at that point. And this is why the kid
Yeah, I
broke.
mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
no, yeah, I mean, if your purpose by starting a pay it forward type thing on a drive through is to bless someone, and then when it gets to them, they don't like. Here's my thing, like maybe so you paid for dude's food and he had a an $8 fucking combo meal, but the car behind him has like 4 kids and 2 adults, and that fucking shit's like $35, and maybe it was the last $7 that college kid had.
That's
Like,
That's exactly what happened. He asked how much the order was, and they were like 20 something dollars, and all he got was like an egg McMuffin and a coffee. So he's like, fuck that. Like, and I don't blame him one bit. You shouldn't be obligated to pay it forward. The whole point of paying it forward is to do something out of the kindness of your heart, not of obligation.
Yeah. I here's $7 towards the tab.
I mean, I guess he could have did that. Like, oh, I'll pay, what I was going to spend on mine. That's a good compromise, but you still feel obligated to do it, and I think that kind of defeats the whole purpose of the fucking thing. If we're being
Yeah.
honest. Oh, by the way, going back, way back, way back, we talked about our difference of opinion in the Wendy's Dave single versus the quarter pounder with cheese. Having had both sandwiches recently, you are 100% still wrong. Quarter pounder with cheese, the new quarter pounder with cheese kicks the Dave singles ass. But I digress. um, since we're talking we're talking about Mickey D's, right? So this chick in the UK, she's ordering Uber Eats left and right? She never gets a bill for it. Oh, great. They must have fucked something up. I'm getting free fucking Mickey D's. So she stays ordering until her brother gets this big bill, or he's been goes through his statements and realize he's been getting fucking raped by Uber Eats for all these McDonald's orders. And she said she paid him back and stuff like that. I guess they ordered it together on her account, but his credit card was on her account. And she tried to claim like she thought she was just getting it for free or something like that. And it's just like, no, you didn't. You didn't think you were getting. Who the fuck is going to give you free food? Like, you knew there was something up.
Yeah, you're either trying to get over on the system, thinking that the app was busted or whatever, or you were like, yeah, it's not my credit card. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, fuck him. And she was trying to spin it in all these different ways and try to say this and say that. And it's like, no, you were just trying to game the system and game whoever. You didn't give a fuck who you were sticking it to. You were going to stick it to somebody. Then it turned out you were sticking it to your brother, so you felt bad, so you fucking paid him back. But, I mean, let's be honest. And I'm not disparaging her, because if I was getting free shit, I'd probably see how much free shit I could get before 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 it came to light that I wasn't supposed to be getting free shit. And I think a lot of people would do the same fucking thing. So I'm not like shitting on her for that. I'm shitting on her for trying to act like, oh, well, I didn't know. Like, fuck off. You knew exactly what you were doing. You were going for that free fucking double quarter pounder with cheese. And she looked good too. So I don't know, man. And speaking of Uber Eats, right? I didn't put this on our rundown, but I was thinking about this recently. Like, I have a personal biased towards like Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, all of those things. And this is why. I know that now they are putting stickers on the bags and stuff like that to make sure that they're closed. But even that, how safe is that? When you use, see, we grew up in a different time. Delivery drivers worked for the actual establishment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you worked for Joe's Pizza And I had an issue with my delivery. Joe's Pizza knew exactly who to talk to. Joe's Pizza knew who fucked up, right? Joe's Pizza knew who to hold accountable and get rid of that asshole. We're not doing that anymore. We got a million people driving for Uber Eats. We got a million people driving for DoorDash. You don't know who's doing it. So if I'm a delivery driver, I might be a little more better, like care a little bit more about my job because I would know that Joe's Pizza is gonna fire me if I fuck this up. Whereas if I'm working for a distant company like Uber Eats or whatever, and they don't really know the situation, and I can tell them whatever, contest it, and then it's like I'm not the ownership isn't really there as much. It's kind of how I feel, and maybe I'm completely wrong about this, but I don't know. You tell me. Do you use that shit?
So I absolutely refuse to use any of the uh, like food delivery companies.
Plus, they
Uh,
charge a grip.
well, they charge a lot of money. The other thing is they are fucking over the restaurants. Um,
All right, come on.
no,
We don't need to hear about your job and your my poor restaurant's getting fucked by Grubhub. I'm talking about the actual drivers. I'm talking about the
but they are. But that's you asked me. I don't use the service, and this is why I don't use the service. They fuck the restaurants. They reduce. They if you sign a contract with them, they make you reduce your pricing, and then they take more money. So they charge the people what they would normally charge, what you would normally charge. They take that as their profit plus a delivery fee.
yeah,
So they're dicking you. Um,
but you're taking it into a different direction. I'm just talking about.
the other no, the
I'm
other
talking
thing
about
is,
shitty delivery guys
I, will you let me get there? Fuck.
or girls.
So the other thing is, old boy fucking takes your bag of food out the door, and he stops and like goes and sees his girlfriend, fucking finger bangs her out, and 45 minutes later, like he shows up at your house with his stinky fingers to serve you your fucking food, and now your food tastes like asshole.
Why?
You don't blame old fucking
Why? Why does? Why does my McRib smell like sushi?
yeah, like, and that's just it. You don't blame old stinky fingers for your shitty food. You blame the restaurant.
By the way, speaking of that, when you order McDonald's and stuff like that, I know they have the heat bags and all of that shit, but your fries have to be cold, right? By the time they get to you, or at the very best, lukewarm. Who the fuck wants lukewarm or cold fries? Like they're shit at that point. The best part of actually getting it in the drive-through or in if you actually sit in I can't even tell you the last time I actually sat in a McDonald's and ate, even before COVID, like Jesus Christ. But you get them in the drive-through and you start mowing those bitches down while they're nice and fiery hot, because once they start cooling off, they get shitty. So
Yeah, like even if your intention is to eat at home, you always eat the fries in the car on the way
yeah,
home, and then you just have your sandwich left by the time you get to the house.
exactly. Which again, I think I said this before. Big Cat from Barstool Sports said you get an extra fry for the ride home because you're going to crush those fries on the way home. So,
No.
um, I don't know. I just went. I just took a left. Let's get back on track. um, so I'm I'm driving to work and I'm listening to some '80s music, and like it hits me how much fucking sexual innuendo 80s music had that, as a young boy, of course I have no clue, but even as I got older, even as I became a teenager and I would hear these songs, I didn't even realize like these motherfuckers are talking about fucking, you know what I mean? Like, and listening to them now as an adult, I'm like, wow, I didn't even realize this. It's pretty fucking. It's a lot of it, dude. And for those that are my age, or even older, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, I'm trying. The songs escape me right now, but the, there's some pretty fucked up uh, innuendo going on. And I just started thinking about it, and I started thinking about how it's progressed into the 90s and to the 2000s to the 2010s to now the 2020s. And it went from, you know, God damn it, why can't I think of any of those songs? I should have cited an example. Um, but I know it when I hear it. And God damn it, what's that song? Ah, fuck. I suck today. I can't give you the fucking Ben Carson. Ben motherfucking Carson. That's the
Oh
Uncle
yeah,
Tom I was talking
Little Red
about.
Corvette.
No, no, there's some that are way more see, I'll get it. It'll just take me till like we're 4 topics away from this. And then I'll think, oh yeah, that's what it was. Um I could just look at my Spotify playlist and find it somewhere. Um, but in any case, um, they went from just doing this innuendo stuff to gradually, I remember Silk, let me lick you up and down to you say stop and all of that stuff. To the point now where they're just like
Wet
I'm lick
ass pussy.
yeah, yeah. Like to the point now where they just sing about let's go in this corner and I'll finger fuck you until you're ready and I'll just fucking rape your ass. Like
Well, do you remember? Like, do you remember how controversial like Luke was? Because Luke was raunchy.
hell yeah. Absolutely. Um what was it? Hey, we want some pussy? Um
OPP.
no, that was naughty by nature. No, that
No,
was
I'm saying like that was.
no, that was nothing compared to Luke. Luke was like me so horny. Um Hey, we want some pussy. Hey, somebody say, hey, we want some pussy. Like that was some real shit right there. Um, I mean, but that's more like hip hop. I'm talking about like just kind of like songs that people sing, and um, you know, they just. All right, I don't know where the fuck I was. I lost my train of thought. Rob had to take a piss and fuck the whole thought train. And I'm still trying
Was
to
that
rack I'm still trying to rack my brain on one of these
was that
80s. No,
Was
it's
it
not.
like Billy Joel's "I
No,
don't wanna
no,
lose you
no. You keep
tonight"?
coming with these terrible examples. Um, I fucked up. I fucked up. Hand up. I fucked up. I, it's on the tip of my fucking brain, like Ben Carson, and it just doesn't want to make its way to my mouth. So Um, maybe next episode I'll think of it. But the point is, these fucking songs went from suggestive about beating that ass up to basically saying, I'm going to insert my penis in your vagina, and not in those that technical of a term, and I am going to thrust vociferously
In your vagine.
until you quiver and uh, never mind. You know what I'm saying. Um, they've just changed a lot. So to the point where, like, if you listen to wet ass pussy on the radio, every other word is blanked out. You think, what are you're listening to? It's like me in like this is fucking with a beat playing in the background. But even when the
Well,
even,
and that was always the greatest part of like doing a song that had that one beep out part in it. Like you'd hear the radio edit, and they would get to it and they change the word to whatever, or
oh
they'd
yeah,
have
that was
just
the worst. Yeah, they changed the words, and not now they don't even bother. They just blank it out. Fucking, it's like we're going backwards. But even still, um, we've heard some raunchy shit with like Little Kim and stuff. When we're talking about hip hop, this is nothing new. Foxy Brown, Little Kim, we're talking about slob and knobs, and even Trina said some fucked up shit in one of her songs, like what was it? Trick Daddy's song, where she says something like deep throat, like you ain't have no N word that suck a dick like me, or deep throat like me, whatever she said. Like this shit goes back. Little Kim was talking about swallowing nuts, and like, but I'm just talking about like not even R&B, but I'm talking about songs, like, singing songs, and like it's almost like we've lost the art of the innuendo, the seduction of it. Like now we're just, and it's become acceptable. Now it's just like, you gonna let me hit that? Like, what the fuck? You gotta work for it, dude. You can't just throw your cards on the table like that. You gotta play
but I
coy.
mean, dude, I mean that's no different than the fucking rando fucking eggplant in the fucking inbox that chicks are always bitching about.
Well, I don't. What are you talking about?
So like how just like it used to be a thing to be subtle and to use innuendo, and now everyone's just really direct and really forward with things. Like so it's a lot of these dudes think that's like a lead now. Like, hey, here's my dick. Nice to meet you. My name's Tom. Like, what? So, and the same way with music. Like, there's no more of that, subtle innuendo that you have to listen to music and decipher that this is what they're talking about. It's like, you know, they're just going to directly talk about it.
So what you're saying is dudes are meeting chicks, and I'm sure this is happening. I don't doubt this at all, because dudes these days are so socially inept, because everything is done through digital means, and so many of them have zero game, that they meet a chick and they're fortunate enough to get her number somehow, some way, and they're zipping over dick pics that are unsolicited. Like the chick's not even looking for that. So yeah, I totally buy that. And it's just crazy how things have changed so much. Like, Jesus Christ.
Man, like, do you recall like years and years ago, like how hard it was to actually like get that kind of shit, like to convince that girl to like to send you something sexy, and now like in the age of OnlyFans, it's like, yeah,
It
here's
did.
my esophagus from the inside, like.
It didn't exist for me in my younger years. You know, as cell phones evolved, it started to take form. I think when I was probably at the peak of it, when I was I don't know, in my 30s, early 30s. Um, you know, before I met my wife, um, was when I probably started seeing some of that. But as time went on, you know, obviously I got away from it. So I can't imagine now how just prevalent it is. And it's crazy because you got to be careful with that shit with your kids and stuff. It's like, fuck, dude. You send a dick pic to a girl and you're gonna be fucking labeled as a sex offender. So you better keep that fucking thing in your pants. You stupid idiot. I, I mean, that's how stupid it's gotten. Like two of age kids send explicit pictures to each other, and they want to start labeling the kids sex offenders and stuff. And it's like, well, you're gonna label the girl a sex offender, like because she's doing the same thing the boy's doing.
So this is a real like serious conversation that I had to have with like my son like growing up, um about like Snapchat and shit like that. And I was like, hey dude, like, I get it, she's your age and like it's whatever, blah blah blah. I'm like, but if she sends you something, it's illegal. And if you receive it, it's illegal. So yeah, like you can both get in trouble for this.
Yeah, but they tend to lean more on the boys, and
Yeah.
you know that's fucked up because like it goes both ways, and you know what whatever happened to just chalking it up as kids being curious, kids being kids. Like when I was a kid and I went and I was 15 and I went and fucked a 15-year-old and probably came in like 3 minutes. There was no charges brought against me or anything like that. Even if the parents found out, we fucked. They'd get mad at their daughter. Like like it's just what happened. And they did the same fucking thing. And our kids are going to do the same thing, and our kids are going to do the same thing because that's what you do when you become that age. You get curious, you get horny, you start trying to find something to put your dick in, or the girls start trying to find something to put inside them. Like it's nature. As long as it's not, an 18-year-old doing it to a 14-year-old or something crazy, if they're within age, like, why are we even? Anyways, well, I don't even know how the fuck we went that way. Um, so we talked about this in the previous episode, and I'm just mentioning this because I noticed something that, like, I was like, oh shit. So we talked about diversity in commercials and how the pandering and all of that bullshit, right? You know how they're pandering to big girls, how they're pandering to, um, actually, I'm seeing a lot of big girls these days. Uh, but how they're pandering to the not so attractive girls. So diversity is nothing new when they're showing a family that's a little bit diverse, right? This has
Yeah.
been going on for a little while now. However, if you notice, if you noticed, most times the guy is white and the woman is black. In almost all instances, the guy is white and the woman is black. And I don't know why this is. Maybe it scares white America too much. I don't know. But I finally saw the opposite. I think it was like a jewelry commercial or something. And it was a black guy giving a gift to his white girlfriend. And I was like, oh shit, they flipped the script. Like, somebody wasn't afraid of showing that black men and white women date and have relationships and get married. It always has to be the white male with the black girl or the black woman. And if you really think about it, and now that I mentioned it, when you watch stuff, you'll notice it's always the white
Yeah.
male with the black woman and the mixed kids.
Which which is kind of funny because in reality, like I think statistically, generally, like it's more common for black men to date white women
Uh the
than
Kardashians,
like vice versa.
the
Yeah.
the Kardashians. I think maybe two of them are, fuck with like other, they're like white people and stuff like that. But the no, not even just one. Just one. The rest of them are all like black dudes, which is fine. I'm not saying they can't, but you're right.
Well, technically, they're not white though. They're Persian.
I mean, they grew up here. We could go to technicalities for everything. To me, they're white kids, but they're fine
Do you
though.
see
And
those asses?
no, they're
Do you see those asses?
listen, they're fine. I can't front. People always say, "Oh, I don't know why they're so famous. They don't do anything." Um they obviously did something right because they're making millions of dollars, and like, who cares? Like, they're not for you, fine. They're not for me, but they're doing something right. So you can hate all you want, I guess. Like, I don't know, whatever. But and speaking of that, I saw a commercial with Chloe. She did not look like Chloe. She looked like the newest version of Chloe. And all I could think of was, it's so sad that she had to get all this plastic surgery and stuff done, when all because she was considered the ugly Kardashian. Like, how fucked up is that? How fucked up does how fucked up does the media and all these ridiculous standards that they have for these women, that she's labeled the ugly Kardashian, and she gets to the point where she has to get all this plastic surgery. I mean, it's there's got to be some mental shit going on there. So to have all that pressure on you to the point where you have to get all this plastic surgery so that you're not, quote, the ugly Kardashian anymore, that's some shit, man. And by the way, the outfield, use your love. That's the fucking song I've been thinking of all night that was on the tip of my brain, where he says, I like my girls a little bit older, and I don't want to lose your love. I just want to use your love. Like, that's sexual innuendo right there. That's classic 80s sexual innuendo. But whatever. We finally got that fucking out of my stupid brain. Um what do you got on Chloe with the fucking with the plastic surgery face? I mean, she looks good and everything, but she looked okay before. She looked good before. She didn't have to do all that.
Yeah, I mean, I like thicker. I like thicker Chloe. I think I think now she looks like bootleg China.
Well, it's
Like
not even about her thickness. Like, fine, if she wants to work out, work her ass off, or maybe get some liposuction and stuff like that too. Whatever. Her face, she doesn't look the
yeah,
same. Her face looks different. If you see this commercial, you're like, that's Khloe Kardashian? What the fuck happened to her?
yeah.
But anyways, that's just a side note. So I wanted to end off with something festive with Christmas right around the corner. Let's talk about Christmas trees. Are you a real tree guy, a fake tree guy? Um, is do you prefer a busy tree versus a more classic traditional? Like, what are your thoughts on some Christmas trees?
Um, Definitely real tree. Um, I wouldn't say like there's something about the all white light tree, that's classic and like I guess high end. Looks more high end. But I also grew up with the gaudy ass tree with the tinsel and the million and one fucking decorations and the green, red, and green, fucking yellow, and
All right,
all different color lights throughout it.
wait, you're all over the place. So first, let's start first with why real tree versus fake tree.
I like the smell. There's something, there's something about the nostalgia of like the real tree and smelling like that pine that just
Okay.
like makes you think of the holidays and Christmas memories.
For the record, I'm fake tree, 100%. I don't want to deal with all those fucking pine needles all over the place as the tree dies. I don't want to deal with having to go out and buy one every year. I'm a convenience guy. And for me, a fake tree that I can just take apart, put in a box, and bust it out next Christmas works for me. Especially like my last tree. That son of a bitch had lights built in. Not that I didn't add anything to it. Of course, I decorated it, but it had lights built in, and that cocksucker rotated. Okay, so while your real tree is just sitting there like a fucking like a limp dick, my tree is pounding some serious sniz, rotating around, showing you every side and every fucking every decoration. And if I want a pine smell, I can spray some pine fucking shit or burn one of those Yankee Candle pine fucking candles, whatever it's called. Pine tree, Yankee Candle, same shit. Fuck your smell.
Still, still the experience of like either going to like get a tree from a farm or like going and buying a tree and picking it out. Like I'll take that over fucking a fake tree out of a box any day.
If you do that with your family, I will um I will concede that. I think that's a cool thing to do with the family. And even cooler to go and cut that bitch down yourself. If you do that, fuck yeah. That's a good tradition. That's a dope
Clark,
tradition.
Clark Griswold style. Like
And we should do Christmas movies next pod. I think that
only if we can include Die Hard in that.
well, we'll talk about that. I'm not gonna this. We're not gonna. We'll leave that for later.
We can't. I'm saying we can't exclude just like
We'll leave that for later.
exclude.
We'll leave that all that shit. We'll leave that for later because this podcast will go on forever if we start getting into that. So we're talking about Christmas trees. I will concede that if you go as a tradition with the family to pick one out, or if you go and actually cut one down, you get extra points for that. Um, that might be a better deal than my spinning awesome no work tree. But I will say this, getting to your next point, when we're talking about decorating, some of you people have the ugliest fucking trees I've ever seen the way you decorate them. Whether it be some ridiculous set that you got at Walmart, which has like cheetah print or, like bulbs and just ridiculous garbage. I remember, like Rob said, the tinsel. Tinsel is fucking trash and should never be thrown on a tree. It looks horrible. And you know that other shit that I think our grandmother used to do, the web stuff, like the spider web shit on the tree. Have you ever seen that? Hello?
Yeah. What?
You've never seen
I
the
don't
web?
remember this. I don't remember the spider web shit on the tree.
I've seen it before. I don't know if it was grandma that did it, but I've seen it before. Um,
Like I remember the tinsel on the tree and waking up like fucking Christmas morning and like pulling tinsel out of my ass from like hanging out underneath the tree. Like, but
I mean, it's cool for the kids because you get to throw the tinsel on, but it's so fucking tacky, dude. And I I don't know. I feel like sometimes people just try to do too much and it ends up looking like a fucking carnival. Like you got all these ridiculous colored lights and all this ridiculous stuff, and it's just like
the
tone it
ridiculous candy canes now.
tone it down a little bit. Tone it. Well, now everywhere you go, and this isn't even trees. We're talking about decorations. Everywhere you go, everybody's got these fucking blow up things that they have to plug in that are just like a land of dead inflated bullshit during the day all over their yard, and then at night they blow them up so you have some fucking figure out there just kind of just blowing with the wind, and I'm bright. You can see me because I'm too fucking lazy to put up lights around my house, so I'll just put this fucking asshole up that's just going
My 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 7 foot Frosty the Snowman.
like, what the fuck? Whatever happened to the effort? Our grandfather, rest in peace, had I was helping him one year with his lights because some of the lights, came down, or he wanted to put up a new. Now, mind you, fucking grandpa had like just tons of shit lights that were so old. They were missing bulbs. He didn't even know if it worked. And these were the old ones where if what's it, series or something. So if one was out, the whole fucking string was out, and it was just ridiculous. So I
Yeah,
said
they
to
were
him,
they were DC lights. They weren't like alternating current lights. Like
I said, let me just go get some new lights because we're gonna be here forever untangling these motherfuckers, and we don't even know if they work. Okay, so so I went and bought him some new lights. He has me put them up because he had hurt himself trying to do it, and he contracted this handle with this little like stick on the end with tape around it and stuff, so that you could just kind of hook the light or the cable and just put it up onto the hook without actually having to get up on on a ladder, and because he hurt himself climbing up on the ladder, so he came up with this Puerto Rican fix, and that was his fix. And so I was the one who was doing it, and it it goes to show how innovative we can get when we need to. But and speaking of lights, like I know we're just going to talk about trees, but what's with these fucking? If you think it's lazy to do the blow up thing, that's fucking a graveyard of just like it looks like a graveyard of like tarp, a bunch of colored tarp all over people's yard during the day. But beyond that, now it's projectors. Everybody's got these shitty projectors projecting shitty lights on their house. It's not the same. It doesn't
Or
look.
the fucking, or it looks like snowflakes or some shit.
Sometimes not even. Sometimes it's just a couple of colors just dancing around. Like what the fuck is this? Man, we just keep getting lazier and lazier, dude. And not everybody. Some people do this shit right. It looks fucking awesome.
No, because I saw a video the other day of someone who had programmed this whole fucking Christmas scene on their house, and they had the hot dog and bologna.
Hot dog and bologna.
Have you seen that? You know that song? You know that song?
No.
What?
Hot dog and bologna.
All right. So
you mean the Oscar Mayer song?
The something macaroni, hot dog and bologna.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Never heard it in my life. I thought you were talking about my bologna has a first name. It's Oscar. My bologna's name is Oscar.
So can you bring this up on your thing? It's called the chicken wing song.
The chicken wing song.
Yeah.
Is this going to be worth it?
No, so this was actually a scene that someone put on their house. It was a chicken wing song.
Okay, what is the chicken wing song?
Just look up chicken wing.
I don't want to do
chicken wing song Christmas lights.
I don't want to get any copyright bullshit on the YouTube.
Well, it's not.
Because if I play the wrong one,
I don't think you'll have a problem.
Somebody has a copyright written or whatever. Anyways,
it's a 15-second video, bro.
I don't think the steak is the I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze in this case.
Play the fucking song and play the video because the display is hilarious.
But we're not going to see the display.
You will see the display in the video because it's actually chicken wing song Christmas lights, and you'll see the display in the video. Screen share it and play.
I thought you were talking about something that you saw in person.
No, this is a video that I saw that had this song that I've heard before. But they did their Christmas lights to this display.
All right, all I'm seeing is a bunch of stupid ass videos, of TikTok videos and stuff. What am I supposed?
There's one. There's one that's a TikTok video. It's got a Christmas tree and the house lights. It should be the first one that comes up. Your holiday TikTok.
I don't use TikTok, dude. I'm on YouTube. The fuck
it's
are you talking
gonna be a YouTube video.
I'm see, this is terrible. You should have fucking told me to do this earlier. What's it called?
All right, I'm gonna look.
What's it called? Just tell me what it's called.
Chicken wing,
Jesus Christ,
hot dog and bologna.
This is awesome fucking podcasting right here. Chicken wing, hot dog, bologna. I see some girl dancing. That's the first thing.
The first thing that comes up.
It's a girl dancing. It says TikTok compilation.
On YouTube, it says, look at holiday TikTok.
I just searched what you fucking told me to search, you asshole. What are you searching? What exactly are you searching for?
Wow, you're a tool bag. Hold on.
I'm a tool bag.
Look this up.
Do you want to see the fucking screen, you stupid asshole? You said search chicken wing, hot dog, and bologna. That's what I did. The first thing I see is some stupid bitch dancing.
No, that's not what I told you to search, dickbag, but whatever.
That is, for those of you listening to this, rewind it. That's exactly what he told me to search for.
So now that I found this in like 7 seconds.
Watch. I guarantee you the juice is not going to be worth the squeeze. And I'm still waiting for you to tell me what the fuck to search for.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, this is riveting podcasting right now.
Chicken wing, hot dog, and bologna. Christmas
I
light
already found
show.
it without you.
Well, it's good what I told you to fucking search before, tool
Because you're
bag.
an asshole. Let me make it full screen. And I'm not the tool bag because I can't find something because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Let's see if the juice is worth the squeeze here. Definitely not worth the squeeze. It was impressive, the effort that they made. But to have that as your Christmas theme,
It's, dude, that house I'm sure has like 7 different displays that it plays.
maybe.
I'm sure like it probably has like the Michael Jackson bad, like, or
I will say this: I have seen other displays like that go with the music and all of that stuff. Pretty elaborate shit. Um, I don't think they were Christmas, or maybe they were. I don't know. I don't remember. But you got to have some skills to put that shit together.
yeah. I mean, like the light programming. Like I don't know if you've ever seen the Michael Jackson Thriller one for a house. That's pretty dope.
No. Well, I mean, in the end, you got to give those guys credit for even just fucking doing something more than putting a fucking big blow up Frosty the Snowman that's that just melted to shit during the day because they only turn it on at night when they get home from work.
And it's funny too because I think Walmart sells like this 19-foot tall like snowman. Like, why?
I've seen some creative stuff. Somebody made like a humongous Santa hat on the roof of their house. There's some corny shit like a fake Santa hanging off the roof, like if he's falling. But I don't know what. I guess as long as you're trying, I guess I shouldn't shit on people. At least they're trying. I noticed a lot of people are doing the 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 tubing, and then they wrap the lights around the tubing. Like they'll do a bunch of them over their driveway. Um, people are getting creative. I'm not trying to hate on everybody. Some people got some good shit out there. So for you guys, keep it up. For you lazy fucks, kick it up a notch. What the fuck? So going full circle, back to the tree. I guess if I was to get a real tree, I would like a nice thick one. Some people actually kind of like the skinny tree these days. I think it's like a trend. Not Charlie Brown skinny, but like just like a thin tree. I've noticed that. I've been seeing more of those lately versus the big chubby one. I don't know. I don't know if that's a sign of the times or people just want everything to be thinner. But whatever. Um, anyways, this podcast will be out hopefully before Christmas, if I have time. And so Merry Christmas to everybody. Or if you don't celebrate Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, fucking whatever you say for Kwanzaa, Happy Kwanzaa. I don't know. Whatever religion, whatever you celebrate, like props. Okay.
Happy days off from work. Happy days off from work.
Well, I mean, you could say happy holidays, I guess. So, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it's so stupid when people take offense to stuff like that. Like, they're just wishing you well. If you don't celebrate Christmas, who gives a fuck? Like, you don't have to say Merry Christmas back. You can just say thanks. Right? Yeah. If somebody told me Happy Hanukkah, am I going to get offended by that? Because I'm not Jewish? No, I'll just be like, oh, thanks. What would you say? What would you say if somebody said Happy Hanukkah?
Yeah, I mean,
what
the fuck you mean? What do you mean Happy Hanukkah? Fuck you, buddy.
It's called Merry Christmas. You fucking. I almost said it. I almost said it. But I didn't. Because it's stupid. It's stupid. You shouldn't take offense to stuff like that. Like, if you don't celebrate it, fine. But they're not saying it to you to push it on you. They're saying it to wish you well. And if you take offense to something like that, you're a fucking asshole that needs to catch COVID. I haven't wished COVID on anybody for a while. Maybe it's just the holiday season. I don't know. But
so I don't know if I told you this, but while you're talking about that, like talking about that specific thing, early on, I've seen so many people like, oh, this thing's a fucking hoax. It's not real. Da da da. I don't want to wear a mask. This is bullshit. Well, now, and I hate to take joy in other people's like pain or misfortune, but now these are the ones that are going, I tested positive for COVID today. Oh yeah, oh, this person's sick in my house, and I'm like,
sucks to be you.
Remember that conversation? Remember that conversation we had 5?
Oh. I mean, that's exactly the point. No. Fuck them. You didn't want to believe. And I tried to give them a pass. I really did. I tried to give them a pass because it became a political thing, and we don't want to talk about this shit. Fuck this. All right. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever. Hopefully now that the holidays are over and we can get back on a more regular schedule. Hopefully we'll be back next week with another episode with our stupid idiot opinions. And maybe I can think of another sexual innuendo song for you guys. Or maybe we're going to hit you with the Christmas movie bullshit. I don't know. Who knows? You got to tune in next fucking episode and you'll find out, you fucking assholes. Listen. Interact. Get at us. We're here. We want to do, we want feedback. We want to do some more shit with what you guys are vibing to. Holler at us. Or don't. Either way, I don't give a fuck. Fuck off. Merry Christmas. You got anything else?
No, Merry Christmas.
All right.
Safe.
Catch you next week.